Good evening, everybody. How are we on this fine evening in June? Still, just about. I hope you're all good. Hope you're all not too hot. Because it is the roasting, I have to say. So, we'll wait for a few more people to get on. I'll find the comments on my phone and then we are going to get started. Okay. So, in case you haven't seen, tonight on Try It Out Tuesday, we're going to be launching a new product, okay? This is one that Sam and I have been working on for a while, and we wanted to, because basically we've been trying lots of different sorts of card and paper to get what we wanted, and we finally found it. Isn't that exciting? So Alison's already placed an order. Oh, no flies on you, is the duck? Right. So let's get these out so we can have a look. There are 2 packs. Okay, we have the backgrounds one and the faces one. I know they're very imaginative names, but I thought we might as well keep it, you know, obvious in our description, mightn't we? You know, no point complicating the matters if we don't have to. Alright, so I'm going to put backgrounds 1 here and faces 1 here, okay? So as you'll see, this is one of the first runs of words that's in the backgrounds, and this is in Sam's handwriting, which has been really popular, okay? So you've got that sounds like a you problem. Are you actually joking? Find the positives. You are an amazing human. This is not the life I ordered. I'm not special, I'm limited edition. It's not an attitude, it's just the way I am. All these are things Sam say, as the kids would say, on the reg, okay? This is stuff that Sam actually says. If my mouth doesn't say it, my face will. That one's an everyday occurrence. Don't follow me, I'm lost. Actually, that one she doesn't say, because she has a fantastic sense of direction. Unless we're talking about generally in life. Dream like you live forever. You'll hear my words, but you'll feel my attitude. You got this. She does say that when she's trying to be very reassuring. I have a good heart, but this attitude. And it's going to be okay. Okay, so some really cool stuff in there, which is absolutely awesome. Okay, and then we're going to quickly move over to the faces. Now, the faces will obviously go much quicker because I'm not going to be reading them out. Oh, if you could give us a share as well, obviously that would be excellent. I'll be very happy. Okay, so in the faces we have dream. We have, so these are A4 size, you can see. So we've got the Dina Wakeley Media Journal underneath, so you can see they're bigger than the pages, so that's cool. We have whatever works. Okay, now we're going to go back over to the backgrounds. We've got another sheet of words. This is the best day ever. Don't give up on your dreams, go back to sleep. This is the time. Now is special. Now, in fairness, this is something me and Sam have really sort of embraced, as daft as it sounds, in the last couple of years. We will be doing some art journaling a bit as well. Sorry, do stay with me. We don't save things anymore. For example, one of the things I really like, outside of craft stuff and horsey stuff and whatever, is Emma Bridgewater pottery. Okay? I own what is a ridiculous volume and monetary value of mugs. But I also have dishes and plates and all this sort of thing. But I don't save them. I use them. I use them every day because I love them. So I'm going to love them and enjoy them as much as I can. But what I don't do, as you see, is I don't buy all matching stuff. So if something breaks or gets broken, I just buy another one in a different pattern. It's absolutely fine. So that's you know, that's one Sam and I have really started to live by as the last little while. Gail, yes, I sent your order out yesterday, my love. Okay, we've then got a look. Now you can see these are pretty much full A4, but we will come back to that. So then in backgrounds 1, what I've done is I've joined together some of our favourite journal art elements from the first set. It's alright, a fly has literally just come in. And we've put them together on these sheets to make them massive, okay? So then we have an I see you in the faces, which I absolutely love because I think it really sort of works on this sort of scale. I think it's really, really cool. And then we've got this one where I've put them together a bit more. And then we have, yeah, that's those 5. And then we have some splats to go with those 4 faces. Okay, so just let's run through them quickly again. Very, very quickly again. Okay, so we've got these 3 fab background patterns and 2 full sheets of Sam's phrases. Okay, lots of little phrases that you can chop up, you can use as a background. I've started to use one as to add on as like an additional element. I'll show you that in a bit. In fact, I'll show you, do you know what, I'll show you now. Because it's something we are going to be using, so I'll show you now. What I've done is I've used the Star Easy Frame. I've inked through it and cut around it, but just to leave the dreams sort of in the white. Okay. So I've gone through around that with my Easy Frame and done that there. But you can see there's lots and lots. Now, I think don't get me wrong, there's a lots of these I do want to put into little stamps someday and whatever. But I think in the papers, they're really, really cool and it makes them really usable. So again, so in the faces, you've got the splats here, which are great. That is just going to be a great background paper. If you don't know what else to do, you know, you can crack on and just wang a load of colour on that. You've got the ICU. Look, the beautiful Whatever Works and Dream. Okay. Now, when I was having a play with the prototype version of these, I did put Whatever Works here. Okay, this is in my black media journal, okay, just on one of the white cotton pages with the Dilution Shimmer paint. Okay, now what I've done here is I've done a really sort of light inky background, and I wanted to see if this paper stock would show through or not. Now, in all honesty, not really. You can see a bit of the patterns. You can see the mandala, I think, the shadow of the mandala there. Now, because, and there, look, you can see the shadow of the mandala. Because what we wanted is we didn't want a tissue, okay? We wanted a media paper, something that if you are, because whilst tissue and our stamping tissue and the collage paper from Dina Wakley, it's really, really cool and all this sort of stuff, it isn't very weighty, okay? So if you're hand making your own journals or books, for example, like this sort of thing I made, it was like a Lou Sims show you how to make thing, like make your own little journal books out of cards and stuff, or out of tag books and stuff like that. You're not necessarily going to have the weight to throw a lot of media at it, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, you can see these, they're not heavyweight, they're in no way card, because you can see, for example, you can see Whatever Works through Dream there, can't you? Okay, so they're not that, but these are a Japanese rice paper, so they're a bit thicker, okay, like, okay, but that means they're really cool at taking the different mediums, ink sprays and whatever. You can actually go to town. So if you're just starting out, you don't have to be worried. You know, you can't, the gloss sprays and whatever are great on the collage paper, but I find if you use a lot of dilutions on your stamping tissue or whatever, obviously it is going to break it down a little bit because it's a much thinner weight paper. But this is something slightly different. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some colour down on our page. I have gessoed it. We're going to put some colour down on here, okay, but sturdy. That could be used to describe me in some, really. But I'm going to put some colour down on here, and then you'll be able to see how translucent it goes when it's got gel medium on and whatever, or not, as the case may be. Alrighty. So that's a full set. I feel like I should keep that in a neat place. Just bear with. Right. Okay. So, is everyone happy? Does anyone need another look through those, or are we all right? Should we crack on and do some journaling? Okay, so I'm working in, if anybody wants another look through them, I have put them to the side. We're working in our blue Dina Wakley Media Journal. I have only got 2 pages done in this so far. So I'm going to go on here, like I said, this is, my hands are lovely and brown here, they are. See, look, I've got a watch line. But I've totally forgotten what I was talking about now. Yeah, so I've put some gesso on this one, and that's because I want to use some dilution sprays and I want them to move a little bit before they dry. Okay, so with that in mind, as Alison has said, crack on. So I'm going to take my distress sprayer. Oh, and let's get it out the way. The new distress colour, the Uncharted Mariner. I can't lie, as soon as I saw another blue, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. But now I keep looking at all the videos using it. I can't wait. Ours is on the way. It's so exciting. Right, and then I'm going to go from some dilution spray. So I'm going to throw on some Calypso Teal. And then some polished jade. And then some lemon zest. You could obviously use your oxide sprays for this if you wanted. You could use spray stains. We are slowly advancing our range of spray stains. It's something we had everything of years ago, but other stuff took over and whatever, but we're slowly getting them back in, so we have put the metallics back on if you missed it. If you missed Sam cooking in her conservatoire on Friday. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my heat tool. As you can see, they sort of pool a little bit better. Now, because the cotton paper that's in the Dina journals it's got that lovely handmade texture and whatever, if you don't gesso, something like dilution spray ink will just be sucked straight in. So it won't blend or anything like that as much because it's just being sucked straight into the paper kind of stuff, okay? So we're just going to go on here. What do you think about the new shimmer paints? Love. To be honest, Noreen, I absolutely love the shimmer paint. So I'm so pleased she's expanding the range. So they've gone on order today. Because I had my email, new from Ranger. So yeah, they've gone on order today. I absolutely love the shimmer paint. And I think it's because I tend not to use sparkles throughout the year. I will use them around December, Christmas time. But I don't really use glitter or anything the rest of the year. But the shimmer paint is not glittery and it's not sparkly. It's got this lovely pearl. Like when I used to use a lot of pearl card when I was card making and whatever. And it's got that. It's a real subtle, I don't know. But I absolutely love the dilution shit. I like working with dilutions paint anyway. I think it's great for the beginners. I think it's really, really forgiving. It dries well, you can blend it together, it doesn't resist like ink sprays, so it's just, do you know what I mean? It's a really forgiving, usable paint. Okay, now you can see I've got some wet droplets on here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, look, we can see where I've cut my star out. I'm just going to use this on here. Now, so you can see from the back, this isn't going straight through straight away. You know, I kind of have to rub it, and then it'll start to come through. Okay? But even in that dark colour, you can still read what's underneath. Okay, and then we'll go back to heating that. Okay, what I'll do is I'll show you some spray directly on here as well, actually. That'll be helpful, won't it? Now look at that. That is beautiful. I'm very, very happy with that. Right, so let me just take my blending mat here. So, of course, you can. What I was saying was one of the reasons we wanted something slightly denser, slightly sturdier, was because we wanted you to be able to use all of your mediums and sprays on here. So if I just go, okay, so if you look at that, I'm going to go with a little bit more. Should have sprayed it with water first, really. But there we go. And then, do you know what? I'm going to go with some water in now. Now, if you can see, the ink is resisting. Okay? Can you see? Is that coming up? The ink is resisting the spray ink, which means it's not covering the words. Okay? So it means you're not going to lose the detail. Because if it's keeping that line, it's going to keep your faces in that, isn't it? So don't fret about that. Okay, now I'm going to show you. We're going to take so what I like about this is you get a proper torn edge as well, but you can rip out on either axis. Okay, as I think it was Alison was talking about it a couple of weeks ago with the Dina Wakley collage paper. This isn't me dissing that. I love Dina Wakley collage paper. I'm just explaining the differences. Okay, you can only rip well on one axis, but this one, okay. So let me move this to the side a second. I want to show you that when it dries. Right. I think I've done that a little bit short. Okay, but what I want to do is show you. So first, I'm going to get my star, because we're going stars, okay? So we're going to be using our Star Lattice Inkable and our multi-stars, okay? So we've got our Star Lattice here and our multi-stars to add some detail on. I've got my prize ribbon. So the two colours I used on this star here were my prize ribbon and my Twisted Citron. You can see it's gone darker where it's blended with the prize ribbon, but that's absolutely fine. And that's how I picked my colour palette for this evening. So we're going to put this on here and then a little bit down here. So you might do a little bit there too. Alright, and then I'm going to take the Twisted Citron with my Star Lattice and I'm going to go over some of those blues. And then with my Twisted Citron that's on there, okay, I'm just going to spray and then invert onto there. I've got them too wet, but oh no, it's working, beautiful. Okay. Because the other thing, obviously, you can do, sorry, I shouldn't say obviously, sorry, that's a nasty habit I pick up from my husband, is you can do ghosting techniques with your dilution sprays the same as you can. So even if your oxides don't come out, it will lift some of there. Alrighty. So, yes, the stickers, as you can see from the packaging, we went through a phase of wanting to call them adhesive ephemera. But, you know, that stickers in it. We have ordered some more, but it'll probably be new designs. Right, so from here, I can't believe I did that a bit too short, but that's alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Distress Collage Medium, and I have a lovely new tub. If you missed Chit Chat Friday when Sam was cooking, not as in she was cooking things to eat, as in Sam was cooking, because it was 38 degrees in her conservatory, where she does Chit Chat Friday. She was showing you a load of the new mediums that we've had come in from Distress, in new packaging and whatnot as well. So, there's loads to be had. Right. It really is just a pot of collage medium, Bev. You don't have to make it so difficult. Righty ho. So I'm going to take my Dina Wakley #1 brush. I'm actually going to work on the denim side. Okay. So if you want it, I find if you want it to go a bit more translucent, okay, you can also spritz it with water first, because it will take that. I'll show you that with another bit in a second. Okay, and then just let it soak in just a little bit, and then I'm going to put it onto here. Okay, I'm just going to work it in, and you can see it's not ripping or tearing, and I'm not worried about, but you don't get the full design come through from the back. So it's a case of, it's sort of like a halfway, because you've got that drawing. But if I get, what I've done is I've got half a dream, so I thought she would look really cool on there. So I cut round, because you can see this piece of paper is bigger. Okay, so I cut round the loop of her hair, and then I cut it off shorter so that she would fit perfectly on this page. Alright, and then what we're going to do, we're going to spritz her with some water first. Okay, and then, oh hello, we're going to go in with our collage medium. So you can see the blue of the denim, yeah? So when she goes on in the right place, she's already a lot more translucent. Do you see what I mean? So you've got the options there, but you can see this is sort of melting in different sections. So you can choose where it goes translucent, and tripped over me on tongue man, or where it doesn't, by adding more water or things like that. It really is just having a play with it, because in all honesty, Sam and I are still learning what it can do, because it's got this beautiful sort of linen texture to it as well. It's just, I think, works beautifully with the Dina and what have you. But if you wanted to basically stick this on and then use it as your, the start of your page, because it will resist, even the darkest sprays, still work around the text. Yeah? So, just say it's just options, and I don't know about you, but I love having options. It's one of my favouriteest things. So I was going to go with that onto there. So for example, with this one, because this is inked over the top, okay? Yeah, so when that dries, it won't have obviously the shine on it. But I think it really does change the look of her face, which is really, really cool. Alright. Obviously you could cut that off tighter. You could spritz it more. There's just so many options. It's sort of like this semi-opacity to it, which is really, really cool. So again, I'll take my collage medium here. And this is just gonna be a little quick one. And this one, I'm not going to brush over the top. Okay. I'm going to just put this one on with my fingers. Because that will keep that outer white line really strong, and it won't move around the ink that I've put on from my distress. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Alright. But it does still have, this is still wet. But because it is a paper, it does still have the flexibility for covering MDF, starting on your MDF. We are going to start doing some more MDF projects, because I feel like I've sort of abandoned MDF recently. Things like this. You can use it as your mop-up sheets. You can use it to add on, okay? But this is why it's so cool. So if there's anything, I've still got some here. So if there's anything, oh, can you have a go at it with something else or a different colour? Do shout out. I'll try and keep my eye on the comments, okay, as I'm going through. I'm just going to give this a little heat set now because I want to start adding some stamps on. I did get exactly the stamps that I wanted to use, but who knows where I've put them now. So, you know, let's just give this a little heat set here. When it's dry, can you colour over it? Well, to be honest, the only thing that'll move with your watercolour pens and paints and stuff is the dilutions ink, right? So, you know, you saw how good it took. Well, do you want me to, shall I get some eco lines? Okay, but I mean, if you were to go over it with an acrylic paint, like I said, you've just got to be aware, but because I've put it on with collage medium, nothing will move, yeah? So because I've gone over that, this and that with collage medium, once it's dry, it's sealed it, so you can go over it with whatever you want, like you would with any other paper. Okay? So, yeah, that'd be absolutely fine. But in terms of going on to it dry, Abs, are you there? Would you mind getting me my water, darling? Like a cup of water? Thank you, my love. Okay. Maz, hello, my love. So this is the new media paper, the Bee Crafty Media Paper. It's a Japanese rice paper, which means it's slightly weightier, which means you can throw a few more mediums at it. You can, you know, just have a play, you know. Yeah, so there you go. But I'll have a go with some eco lines. Now, I will say, I do think they're going to absorb a little bit. You might be better, for example, watercolouring from a mat. But we'll see. Thank you, my lovely assistant. You're the nicest assistant I've had to say. Much better than that, Sammy. You're welcome. Right. Alrighty, so let's grab my eco lines. What set have I got here? The brights, if you're bothered, which I doubt you are. But I'm going to, right, so first of all, let's have a look how it does in terms of drawing colour out. So let's go round here with my eco line and see. Oh yeah, it does. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Right. So, if I was to get... I'm sorry, we have segued not so seamlessly over here. But that's alright, because it is all about these media papers tonight. So, you know, I'm sure she'll get finished, but... Right, so if I just do a line down here, do a couple of lines down here. A couple of lines down here. This might be asking a bit much of it now, but I do actually want to test it, because I hadn't tested it in this way. Wow. This girl is on fire. Okay. So I think we can all agree that works, right? Wowzers.
Good evening. Are you okay? Yeah? Are you washing up?
So we're just gonna... That is so cool. Right? That is a game changer. Because let's face it, you couldn't do that on stamping tissue because it would just disintegrate, especially with that much water. So let's just dry that. On there. And I wasn't very fair with those lines I was putting on, was I really? I was not fair. And look, but if you look, the water's barely... Probably should have looked before I started drying it, to be fair, but it's not like any colours really come through to that side, has it? Ecky thump, kids! I'm most excited about that. Something I can use my eco lines on as well. I'm pretty chuffed. I'm pretty chuffed. Okay, so that's something else then. Okay, so right, so I'm going to go back to my Star Lattice and I'm going to get some of my Distress texture paste. This is the matte, but like I say, there's lots of fabulous new texture pastes in. I have not treated myself to them all just yet, but you know, it's in the air. Right, so I'm going to take some more Star Lattice. I'm going to go onto there, and then maybe some onto here. Oh yes, that fly is really annoying me. Now it's taking up residence in my craft room. You know, I've been in here all afternoon. Nowhere to be seen. But as soon as I want to talk, that's it. And do you know what? I've got a little bit left on my spatula. I'm sure we can fill a couple of stars up here. I don't generally put back in the tub. You know, once I've committed to a spatula full, that's it. Unless it's going to really overcook it. But since when has that ever concerned me? Like, never. Oh, there's a blooming plane going over now as well. Okay, let's do a Sam. Tim Holtz Distress Texture Paste is an opaque medium ideal for creating dimensional effects on surfaces. Used with stencils, mainly inkables. Okay, it doesn't say that bit. I added that bit in. For defined texture, not divine, but divine texture as well. Or you can apply with a palette knife, which is rather cool. Lift stencil slowly and allow paste to dry. Okay, I will allow it to dry under my heat tool. Does anyone else think that's not what they meant? I don't think it is what they meant. Luckily, I wasn't actually asking. Here we go, here we go. Adult use only. Adult use only. Yeah. Basically, I just like to, for want of a better description, Sammy, don't wrinkle your nose. I like, for want of a better description, just to crust over the top so I don't put my arm in it when I'm doing other things. But generally, even the mediums where I concede are best left to dry, I'm far too impatient for that. I've even been known, now don't heat your gloss sprays. I do because I'm an impatient woman. But Dina does specifically tell you not to heat your gloss sprays, okay? I just do because I'm just naughty. Okay, the Posca still hasn't made an appearance. It's still in the Posca del Sol. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my old Sharpie, and we're going to just... Can't believe they don't make these anymore. It's devastating. Okay, so we're just going to bring out Dream's Eye here. Okay, and then... And that, look at that. She's awake again. Yeah? Then we'll probably just... Okay. Alright. Abby, to be fair, my love. Beverly. What did I say? I'm thinking it was the crossed over. Maz, so the halo, okay, what I did was I didn't spray with water or put a lot of matte medium on the edge so that it created this sort of white highlight. And this is the whole point. With the media papers, you can choose the opacity, which is a big word, which Sam never used to know what it meant. She thought it meant translucent. She thought it meant the other thing. So did I, but I just blame her. Okay. I think the Posca's exceeded its holiday allowance to Caroline, hence why, but my craft room is now at the state where I have offered my 14-year-old daughter money to come in and tidy it. Because I honestly just don't think I can. Right, what I'm also going to do then, now the eco lines are out and I'm committed, I'm going to get out of my bright set. Is that out? No, that's definitely too purpley a purple. I'm going to get this. What's this? What have we got here? We've got the sky blue. And I'm going to go in and we're going to give her a bit of a sky blue lip. Okay. So I'll do that around the outside. And then I'm just going to take my small number 2 Dina Wakley media brush. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put water here. And then it can bleed in a little. And then I might just do the same around here. But I'm just going to do the sky blue around the edge. Because obviously it's got that blue-green underneath. And it's just to create a sort of edge on here. And now she's looking mighty fine. Mighty fine. Okay. And then we're going to go to some more stamps. So Sam and I, we're looking at the lovely La Lunas today. And basically what is left of the La Lunas is it. Okay, so if it's something you've been umming and ahhing about, stop umming, stop ahhing. Because these are now limited edition. Okay, so we've got, don't know where all my backing cards are. We've got the Over the Moon set, which has got a moon and some other bits on there. And these stars, which I've used to the point where they no longer stick. We'll keep them out. Okay, for the Over the Moon set. We've got the star words. I'm going to keep those out as well. The La Luna, which have got the really useful circles here. Absolutely awesome. And then 2 sets of textures, because I inevitably lost ones off other ones, so I bought another set, and I've still lost the little houndstooth star on both of them. Maybe that's something that Abby will turn up during her cleaning session. Who knows? Also, I know you're probably sick of hearing this from me, but the Versafine Claire, I have been told they've been dispatched. I don't really know what's going on. But when I know, you'll know. I promise it'll be on the Facebook page, probably first. But it's just like, I've got, so at the minute at Ranger, I've got a Distress Oxide order, and obviously the Mariner that's just been dispatched, but the original Oxide order that I did before that hasn't come, or hasn't been dispatched yet. And then I've also got the Sukaniko order, and that's not here yet either, but it has been dispatched. And then I've also ordered some of the new ephemera. I'm really sorry, I pause every time I say ephemera, and the reason being, as I used to call it, ephemera. And well, that's how I always said it in my head, and then I said it out loud and my mother laughed at me. So you know, what can you do? Right, but I'm doing my best, I promise. Right, so I'm going to put some of these stars on here. Now, you'll notice these are stamping so much easier than they do, for example, on here. You get the gaps. That's because you're going onto the media paper, which has created a slightly smoother surface on top of the handmade texture of the media journal. Okay, so it's just... oh. A bit wrong there, so that's fine. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that will not do. I need to put it closer to the edge of my block. And this is where your super skinny slims are really, really cool. If you put them on the edge of your block, and it was Louise Sims that pointed this out to me, this is why she likes them. You can get right into the edge of your journal to stamp. Okay, which is excellent. And now we're also seeing why I get confused when people go, oh, have I put too much on? What? No. Because you can't. Alrighty, so let's go and get onto our star textures. So put some of these stars on. You know, you can always put some inside these circles here. Okay. But the cool thing is, you can also get your stamps, your journal art element stamps, and then create different patterns because you know you've got them in different sizes now and what have you, which is really, really cool. All right, and then I'm going to take do we want without the darkness? We'd never see the stars. I'll go into my little bit here. Oh, will that fit on my border? It will, you know. And actually, it reminds me of the film about blue aliens. Oh, Avatar. That one. I'm not on telly, kid. I can say what I want. Right, so I don't know if I can actually. But, you know, the bottom line is it's me that's responsible. So we're going to stamp that on there. Pling. And that's going to go on there. Right, so, Maz, when I was tearing the paper, basically, I was just dry tearing. Okay, but you can, you know, because you can just, if you work down with your fingers, but you can also tears quite nicely. But if you want to, for example, do a shape, hang on, let me get another one of my papers. Where have I put them all now? Here we go. So if you wanted to, for example, say you wanted that circle there, right? So if I get, you would need to get it much wetter because it is much denser. But of course, it would give you that line to tear around. Yeah? But you do need to get it much wetter because if you look, that water hasn't even come through to the back yet. That's all I will say. And this is the thing. It's not It's not better or worse than our stamping tissue or anything like that. It's just different, and we wanted something, because I can be, in case you hadn't noticed, I can be quite heavy-handed with the old media sprays and stuff like that. So it was important that I wanted something that wasn't going to disintegrate with the amount I throw at it, basically. Hence, so this is just the collage medium in an applicator for when you've got your sentiment and you need to do a fine line, or you realise you've already put your brush in your water. Heavy-handed, I won't have it. Good for you. And then that's just going to go on there. Alrighty. So it's just a case of using it and playing with it, I think. And like I say, because you can use, oh, I did forget to say, so the 2 packs 5, they are they're only $2.99 each. Okay, they are on the website now. We decided to do them at $2.99 each, rather than like a bigger bundle for more, because, you know, in case you just wanted the faces or you just wanted the backgrounds, you know, you weren't committed to all of it. You know, and if you just wanted to have some to try, it's only a few pounds. Because that's the point, isn't it? That is the point. I feel like there's so much more I want to add to this, but I feel if I start, Sam's going to shout at me. I do. But I'm very, very pleased with how it works with eco lines as well. So your watercolour markers, you're absolutely good to go with. You know, you could watercolour with your dilution sprays, with your distress and that sort of thing, and you haven't got to worry about it falling apart. So that makes life really, really cool. I can't believe how different Dream looks. That's really, really cool as well. So we've sprayed on under it, over it, eco lined on it, collage mediumed on it, distress ink blended on it. Nothing else immediately comes to mind. But if you think of something, do let me know. Should we put a bit of media gloss spray and see what happens there? I think that will cover it up. But I don't want to think. Oh no. Oh dear. That was my legs peeling off that chair. Let's shake this up. Do you know, I can't remember last time I used my gloss sprays. We're terrible, aren't we? Step away, doesn't need anything else. Alright, Alison. I know you're all on Sam's side. You all made that very clear not too long ago. Right, take my mat. It's got a bit green on it, but you know, we're not going to worry about that too much because it doesn't really matter. I wiped as well. Okay, so I need to address that at another time. Oh, there we go. I think the Tangelo might be the one. But it's not. Oh, what have I done to all my sprays? Have I clogged them all? I do hope not. Can I show the papers again? Of course I can, my little chuck. I need a pin. It's clogged in the pipe. Do 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 do. Oh, I've just dropped the lid there as well. Right, I'll have to come back to that. Let me move this out of the way. That's fate saying leave it alone. But in fairness, I was just gonna spray on that to show you. That's all. Okay, so the two, I'll have another go and let you go. So the two sets we have, okay, we have the background set. Each set has 5 papers. So we've got that words, those words, background, background, background. So obviously these would also make fantastic just backing papers. If you don't know where to start with your page, gel medium these down and then crack on. Okay, so that's backgrounds 1. Okay, and then we have in the faces, dream, whatever works, look, I see you, and a splatty page. Also a really good starter page. Alright, and like I said, you can see on here how, you know, you can layer them up, but you can layer them up and keep them opaque. You can layer them up and make them more translucent. It's totally up to you. Okay. I can't believe I dropped the lid for that thing. Right, I'm going to try one more of my gloss sprays, and then we're going to give it up as a bad job and say I'm being punished for abandoning them for so long. I think that's better. Right, so our last dished attempt is the blackberry. So in actual fact, no, they're not covering up the printing like I thought they would. I honestly thought they'd cover up the printing. And not only that, it's mattified them. Let me just go over the same spot again. And no, it still resisted them, even where it's gone glossy. Interesting. Well, that is even better. Okay, so that's Dina Wakley Media Gloss Sprays, Dilutions Ink Spray, Distress Ink, Ecolines. There's only so much fabulous that I can take. That's not true at all. Bring on the fabulousness. Okay, so Sam has put all the links on there for you. So head on over to the Bee Crafty website and grab yourself some of the Bee Crafty papers. I don't know if Sam Media Papers, I don't know if Sam is planning to use them tomorrow. She is live in Crafting Together with All Brands, or Crafting Together as Everybody Loves Each Other, as she likes to call it. Okay, this will be available to catch up on YouTube soon, so please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because it's great and we really want to go live on it. No Steve. No Steve. I'm confused. Distress crayons. I actually, at this moment in time, my love, I don't know where my distress crayons are. So yes, she is using them tomorrow. So Sam will be doing something different with it, because I've used stars, and stars are Sam's thing, and now she can't use them because I did tonight. But I will say she was part of the planning process, so I can't completely be held responsible. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you have any other questions about the Bee Crafty Media Papers, please let me know. As always, we are willing to try out our stuff so you don't have to. Again, if there is any products you've got questions about, I've been wondering, will it do this? Ask. We are quite happy to risk ours so you don't have to risk yours. Okay? So I hope you have a fantastic evening. I genuinely hope it gets a little cooler. I do. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm No Fab. Bye.